Well, that is how things went down yesterday night. A highly anticipated debate that never was. One man, Karriera Muvyora, who showed up and showed Kenyans really what he is made of. Praises continue to pour in on the social media, but what really does that act of not showing up in debates mean, not only for the politicians but for the citizenry as well? Joining me that now is a governance expert, Brian Mutie, who's now in studio with me. Thank you very much, Brian, for coming in.
Thank you, Akisa. Always a pleasure. It's mine.
Definitely. Thank you for coming in.
Sure.
So, for you, what do you make of how things went down yesterday night?
I think it was a sad day for Kenyans at large, in the sense that they were really pregnant with a lot of anticipation to see how, you know, the key players will be coming out in terms of the debate. That never was, and I like the way you are putting it. It's a debate that never was. But I think we also have to give it to Karriera, who actually grabbed the opportunity and ran away with it. He established himself as an instant star, as far as politics is concerned, and he won a lot of admiration. And who knows, he might even win some few votes, of course, of those who had decided to give to those who never turned up. And therefore, to me, I think it was a day for him, and all eyes, all ears, every single eye and every single ear in this country was focused on that gentleman. And he had the opportunity to shine and showcase what he's made of. And I think, given an opportunity, the guy is likely to grow. I would want to say that he's a politician in the making, because as much as he was articulative to matters of governance and what he has for this country, perhaps I can say his softness in terms of articulation and lack of punch perhaps is something that he needs to work out so that he can...
This is
absolutely, but I want to give it to him.
Yes, and even his articulation in so many issues, he seems to be well-read,
sure,
and very conversant in almost all the aspects of
absolutely of governance.
Yes.
I think as I said, I want to give it to him. I didn't expect him to have such knowledge on matters of, you know, which he was actually being asked. And anybody, even seasoned politicians, would have fizzled at that arena where all cameras, all eyes are on you, and you are the center of attention globally. And to me, I think he took up that opportunity, and he was able to actually gel with the crowd, and also he was able to actually demystify further issues that perhaps even a presidential candidate would have fizzled out on that stage.
But do you think this is the act of the politicians or the running mates not showing up yesterday? Some numbers on the social media, even outside it, say that they're very disappointed with their leaders because they viewed this as a job interview, and it's seen as you not showing up for a job interview. Is it in any way going to affect numbers for these politicians? In fact,
if I were consulting for the Media Council, I would mobilize all TV stations to give them all the political players, the so-called serious political players, are sort of a kind of blackout for maybe some few days, so that they can understand the impact that media plays, and trivializing media, not giving them that kind of sort of respect they duly deserve, owing to the fact that media really invested a lot of energy, collaboration, partnership, and a lot of synergies, as well as a lot of resources. And also the psychological mindset of the people was ready to see what these people are made of. But to the chagrin of the people, that never was. And to me, I think it is a huge loss to them, not even to the citizens of this country, because that's the opportunity that these people needed to showcase what they... It is an opportunity that they had to grab and run away with it, but that never happened. Especially, I want to take attention to Kalonzo Musyoka, who perhaps, to me, I would say is the biggest loser when he never appeared on this show. Why? Because this is opportunity. This is a government in waiting. They are actually, as NASA, they are actually showcasing why they have the better edge over the incumbent. And this would have been a moment where perhaps they are articulating some of the loopholes, deficiencies in terms of governance, especially from the incumbent, and perhaps articulate why they deserve to be the alternative government in waiting. But this never happened. And
but wasn't it also a chance for William Ruto to reiterate on the things they say they have done for this country and why they deserve a second term?
I think as an incumbent, perhaps you feel that your egos have grown to an extent that you perhaps do not want to showcase what you have done as a country, because maybe you feel that you have other platforms to articulate. But I do agree, of course, they had that chance to showcase what they have. But the pressure, of course, was on Kalonzo, because people anticipated him to showcase why he has alternative measures to govern this country in a better way. And again, if I were him, I think Hussein Mohammed and the other interviewers or interrogators would have found me seated waiting for them, other than me being waited to come and grace the occasion. So he ought to have actually been there earlier, not even missing from the occasion.
What about the other five? We know Muthiora showed up. We have talked about Kalonzo and Deputy President William Ruto. What about the other five who at first were insisting that they have to debate with the quote-unquote big wigs, and they were not allowed to because rules are rules? Little is known about them. This was a chance for them to shine the way Muthiora did, and they just looks like they just threw it
to
away.
Me, I can only say I pity them. And if they can behave that way at a time when nobody knows even about them, given a chance where they are able to showcase and then they trash it, to me, that's why I'm saying I pity them. Because as a leader in the formative stage, you need to have a platform where you are able to articulate your issues, you are able to showcase why you have the leadership skills that perhaps are deficient from the other existing players. And that opportunity, if it comes by itself, as it did, I think to me, it would have been a grab and smash affair for them. But they never did that. And therefore, Kenyans are keen to understand why, yet we know little about them. We know little about what they are made of, and we know little about what they are capable of doing to ensure that they narrow the gap in terms of the deficiencies that are existing. So to me, it's a sad affair, and to me, I think they need to be advised better than they were.
But let's look at it from the politicians' point of view. They say that some of them have said that it is just 20 days to the elections, and most of them are scrambling to cover the grounds they haven't in terms of the grassroots levels where, true to their words, where the votes are. So would this be a priority for them? I
think that's not justified, because this is the opportunity where you need to be heard. A TV platform where all TV channels across the country are focused on what you say cannot be equated to you going to the ground to be just listened by a small number or a proportion of potential voters. For instance, if they went to maybe a village or a local or a small market, perhaps, can you really say that can be equated to, or every eye, every ear on the citizenry being focused on you? I think you cannot equate. Therefore, their reasons they are quite weak. But again, it is a behavioral pattern for every politician, and perhaps the Kenyans are not an exception from this. But to me, if I were to advise them, this is an opportunity that they would have grabbed with their both hands, and they would have run away with it.
Do you think this has robbed the citizenry a chance to listen to the policies of all these leaders?
Absolutely. This is the time when all Kenyans were focused. In fact, yesterday, most of them went home earlier than before. They actually, some even took borders to with the traffic jam, just to be at a situation where they are able now to follow and listen what the alternatives have for this country. That never was. To me, it was a disappointment to the citizenry of this country. It was a disappointment to the media fraternity. It was a disappointment even to the organizers who actually invested a lot of money. I'm told it's over 200 million in terms of coming up with that state-of-art facility where perhaps Kenyans would see these men and women perhaps showcasing the leadership skills that they do have.
All right, let's wait for the 24th and see whether the presidential candidates will up their game.
Absolutely. But again, I want to say perhaps these fellas do not understand the place the so-called undecided do play in tilting the scales. That's needed to be convinced why perhaps they have the alternative better leadership skills for this country.
All right,
absolutely.
Brian, thank you so much for coming in. Brian Mutie, governance expert, once again, thank you for joining us. On the 24th, we expect the presidential candidates debate, and we'll see whether it will be an anticlimax like what we saw yesterday, or they will up their games.